While holding my mixed-race baby for the first time, my brother laughed. Surprise, surprise, the father isn't here. He didn't know my husband died 7 months ago. He also didn't know my father-in-law, an ex-Marine, was standing in the doorway 20 feet behind him. You see, my brother had spent his whole life tormenting me about pregnancy up to this point. When I had my first miscarriage at 22, he told everyone I faked it for attention. When I started fertility treatments, he screenshotted my pharmacy notification and sent it to our family group chat. Guess who's so desperate she's pumping herself full of chemicals? I cut him off after that. But 3 weeks ago, he saw my newest pregnancy announcement. The text started immediately, saying my baby would grow up confused, saying I was embarrassing the family, asking if I even knew who the father was, so I made a plan. I knew he'd show up and try to humiliate me using whatever he could. So now, in this hospital, everyone was already in position, 20 feet down the hall, and I was the one holding the cards. I gave my father-in-law a small nod, and he exited out of view to finish setting everything up. Meanwhile, my brother stood over me laughing. Look at those giant lips. Kid's gonna have a hard life with those. I stayed quiet, let him talk. I knew he couldn't resist running his mouth. What was the plan here? Play house with some guy from the hood who never had a dad himself? He shook his head. That's not how it works with them, sis. I felt my jaw tighten, but I kept my face neutral. That's when a nurse walked in. She leaned over to adjust my IV. Everyone's here, she whispered. Ready when you are? She was in on it too. I nodded. She turned to my brother. Excuse me, sir. Why are you recording her? He had his phone out. I hadn't even noticed. He puffed up his chest. I'm making sure there's a record of this. So when she comes crawling back to the family for money, we all remember she chose this life. I pretended to be upset. You'd feel different if you knew the father of my child, if you knew why he's not here. I was giving him a chance. One last chance to stop, but he didn't take it. If I knew him, I'd shake his hand for getting out early. He laughed. You've always been easy to fool and hard to deal with. Remember when I told mom you were stealing her pain pills after surgery? She believed me for 2 years. Really, it was me, selling them at our school to those special kids. He admitted it, out loud, in front of a witness. That's when I realized I had to destroy him. You're just jealous, I said, knowing this would get the reaction I needed. I have a baby, and you've been trying for 3 years with nothing. I struck his insecurity. His face went purple. Jealous? Of that thing? He pointed at my son. I'm saying this because you've embarrassed this entire family. You let some cotton lover use you and leave you with a souvenir. He stepped closer to me. If I wanted a kid, I'd have one. Because guess what? My fiancé does exactly what I tell her. I own that woman. Our parents do what I tell them. Their brains are too old to question me. Everyone listens to me. I couldn't help it. I started laughing. What the hell is so funny? I didn't answer, just kept laughing. What is so funny? I looked past him, toward the door. He turned around. I watched his face literally drain of color, standing in the doorway. Not just my father-in-law, but my parents, my brother's fiancé, his boss, the family lawyer, and one more person, a woman named Destiny, his assistant at work, the one he'd been sleeping with for 8 months. She was black. My brother turned back to me. I was already recording. Before he could speak, our father stepped forward and slapped him across the face. He stumbled back, grabbed his cheek. The lawyer pressed a document against his chest. He looked down, read it. I'm out of the will as of this morning, our father said. His boss stepped forward. And you're done at the firm. Clean out your desk. His fiancé pulled the ring off her finger, threw it at his chest. The wedding's off. My brother dropped to his knees, tears streaming, but the biggest blow was still coming. My father-in-law reached into his jacket, pulled out a photograph, handed it to my brother. My brother looked at it. His whole body went still. That's Sanders, from my unit. He died 8 months ago. I was there. My father-in-law pointed at me, then at the baby. I watched the pieces click. Sanders, my husband, the man my brother served with for 2 years, the man whose death made him cry, the father of the baby he just called a souvenir. Something behind his eyes shattered. He lunged at me, at the baby. This is your fault. I'll kill you both. My father-in-law caught his wrist and slammed him to the ground. Security burst through the door. 3 of them. They pinned him down while he screamed. He was still screaming when they dragged him out.